Hello, all of you. Now we are going to start important chapter of environment under the your India yearbook. Okay, this is very important unit. Many questions comes from the environment. That is the reason I'm focusing environment region. Okay, previously I have done a chapter of water, so this will be a second chapter on of India yearbook. Here I will be adding few more things in addition to this India yearbook. Please have a paper and just keep on adding things. Okay, whatever the things I have been adding. Okay, please make a note. This is a thought time I'm going to do this video because of this recording issue and all. Okay, the since this is a very important chapter, so I'm still again taking time and adding a chapter. Okay, please make a note. Okay. Okay, let's start. Okay, coming to the first topic, it's a botanical survey of India. Okay, here botanical survey of India, you need to have an idea that this comes before your independence. Okay, in the 1890, first comes the botanical survey of India, and then comes your geological survey of India. So you have an idea that this botanical survey of India is a major body that does the documentation of the traditional knowledge associated with the plants, and also have the inventory of the endemic, rare, and threatened species. The same job here it is done by the geological survey of India, which has come under the 1916. Okay, and then you need to know have an idea about your forest survey of India. Okay, forest survey of India is very important body because this is coming up with a biennial report which comes for every 2 years regarding your forest. Okay, currently we have 21.67 percentage of the forest cover and rest of the 3 percentage of the tree cover. So total forest covers comes under the your total comes under 24 percentage, while as per the national forestation policy it should be a 33 percentage. Okay, here you need to know which is the state. Like Madhya Pradesh is the area wise having the major forest cover. Percentage wise it is a Arunachal Pradesh. You need to have the chronological idea. After Madhya Pradesh who comes? Okay, after Arunachal Pradesh who comes? You have an idea. Okay, okay, your classification of the forest is done under the let's say when do you say it is a forest? If the density is more than 10 percentage and area is covered under the more than 1 hectare, then you can say this is this is a forest. If the density is less than 10, then it comes under the tree cover. Okay, where do you have the more tree cover? That is also very important thing. Okay, you need to see. Okay, where do you have the more tree diversity? Okay, you check it out. Okay, let's say which is the area that is maximum percentage that is being covered. Okay, is it a open forest? Is it moderate forest? Is it a dense forest? All these things under the forest recently released report you need to go through. Okay, in the same way the mangrove cover has been increased. Okay, area wise mangrove cover is major in West Bengal. In the same way for the wetlands it is in the Gujarat. Okay, that is the thing. And these are the things you need to have an idea. Okay, then comes to the biodiversity conservation we have already discussed under the Earth Summit video of the YouTube. Okay, currently we have only one legal, the 1992 convention of the CBD is a legal convention. It is a binding. So this is a first major legal treaty for the protection of the biodiversity. Since we have ratified this, to as per these provisions we have enacted a National Biodiversity Act. As per this National Biodiversity Act we have the National Biodiversity Authority, State Biodiversity Authority, and there is a local level biodiversity management committees. Okay, any foreign company, if we want to utilize the resources of your nation, they have to take permission from the National Biodiversity Authority. If it is a Indian company, they have to take permission from the State Biodiversity Authority. If it is a local company, they don't have to take any kind of permission. Okay, as per this National Biodiversity Authority Act only, you have the biodiversity heritage sites which is recognized by the state government. Okay, in the same way there is one more globally important agriculture heritage sites which is recognized by the FAO. There are 3 sites in India. Okay, in the Kashmir region, in the Kerala region, in the Chhattisgarh region. What are those 3 sites you need to go through? Okay, and you need to also go through about the FAO. Okay, FAO has some World Food Program. Okay, there is also a report regarding the forest is being released by the FAO. You need to have an idea. Okay, just go through that. Okay, then comes your biosphere. One more thing that comes under this CBD is the Cartagena protocol, which is also I have discussed. Cartagena protocol is about the it is a protocol to for the live to take care of this living modified organisms. Whenever this living modified organism is being traded, there should be prior informed consent. Okay, there should be proper information about these animals. Okay, there is a thing you need to have an idea. Then comes to the biosphere reserve. Okay, we have totally 18 biosphere reserves. Under this, 11 are being recognized under the UNESCO's Man and Biosphere Reserve program. This biosphere reserve is a broader in approach than your national parks and wildlife your sanctuaries. Okay, because this biosphere reserves comes under the landscape approach. Landscape approach means they don't restrict themselves to one protected area, one national park. Okay, they consider whole region, be it is a national park or be it a generally rural area. They consider everything. Okay, even the local people are being taken as a under this. Okay, under the same approach we have a one more plan which follows this landscape approach, that is called the wildlife action plan, which has been from the 2017 to 2031. Okay, this is a third wildlife action plan. Already there was a first and second. Okay, so this is also a landscape model. Okay, where it talking about the checking the animal and man conflict. It is also talking about the people participation. So very important thing which you need to mention while writing your mains answers. Okay, programs like wildlife action plan where there is talking about the people participation should be encouraged. Okay, totally we have the 11 biosphere reserves, and the 11th one is a Kanchenjunga. Okay, so these are the certain important things which you need to know. Okay, this Cartagena protocol which I have already discussed about. Okay, and then one more important thing which I'm missing here. Okay, it comes next. Okay, now comes to the wildlife conservation. Okay, here there are three major important institutions. Okay, Wildlife Institute of India, this is a autonomous body. It is not a statutory body, it is autonomous body under the Ministry of Environment. Then comes the Central Zoo Authority and National Tiger Conservation Authority. Both of them are the statutory bodies under the Ministry of the Environment and Forest. Okay, and then here comes one more important program, that is called the Integrated Development of the Wildlife Habitat. This is a centrally sponsored scheme. It has three components under it: support to the protected areas, first thing. Second thing, protection of the wildlife outside protected areas, and third thing is a recovery programs for saving critically endangered species and habitats. You need to know that in this support to protected areas there is no tiger reserves. Why there is no tiger reserves? Because it is already covered into the project Tiger. Okay, that is also a centrally sponsored scheme. Okay, and you also see here national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, conservation reserves and community reserves. All these four things are also recognized under the Wildlife Protection Act. Only these four things are recognized. Okay, other protected areas are not recognized under your Wildlife Protection Act. Okay, let's say tiger reserve, biosphere reserve, that does not come under your Wildlife Protection Act. Wildlife Protection Act is very important body, very important act, because it talks about various schedules, schedule 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, where in the schedule 5 and schedule 6, schedule 1 and 2 very high protection. Schedule 5 talks about vermin. Schedule 6 the kind of plant which you cannot cultivate. Okay, and also it talks about these four protected areas. Okay, and then there are certain bodies that use that get statutory status from this Wildlife Protection Act. What are those? Okay, one thing is which we have already discussed here. There is a National Tiger Conservation Authority and Central Zoo Authority. In the same way, there is one more National Board for Wildlife. Okay, this National Board of Wildlife is also a statutory body. It is a policy making body. Okay, whenever there is a need for increasing of size or decreasing of the size of your national parks, there is a need of the permission of the National Board of Wildlife. Generally, who declares national parks or wildlife sanctuaries? Generally, state governments, and also even your central government can also declare the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries. What is the difference between the national parks and wildlife sanctuaries? Generally, understand that national parks have more protection measures. Okay, certain activities like your grazing and all, it is not allowed. Okay, collection of minor forest produce and all in not allowed in the national parks, but in a limited manner it is collected under the wildlife sanctuaries. Okay, generally in the wildlife sanctuaries we are focusing on the one specific animal. Okay, one specific species. Okay, and, while in the national park it is a habitat based approach. Everything that comes under this national park is being protected. Okay, those are the things very important for your prelims. I have covered there. Then comes your Wildlife Crime Control Bureau. It is a statutory body. So you see this one, this is a body that collects information, that collates. Okay, it collects the data from various bodies and finally presents the data in order to protect any kind of wildlife crime. Okay, here itself you need to know one more important intergovernmental body called SAVAN of the South. SAVAN is an intergovernmental body of the South Asian nations. Okay, and then there is one more body. Okay, that is called traffic. This is a NGO. Okay, which has been formed by the initiative of IUCN and WWF. Okay, we have already discussed about the Central Zoo Authority statutory body, okay, which takes care of the zoos. This conservation of the zoos is the executive conservation, okay. And then we have the Project Elephant, okay. You need to know this is a centrally sponsored scheme. It includes these things: Project Elephant, Protect Elephant, okay, and habitats and corridors, and also to address the issues of the man and animal conflict, and also welfare of the domesticated elephants. Okay, here itself you also know other schemes like Mike, okay, to check the illegal killing of the elephants, okay. And there is a program called Hathi Mere Saathi. It was initiated by a group of 8 nations. These 8 nations came together to protect the elephants, okay. So it involves the participation of the local people, okay. So these are the things you need to know. And also you need to know which is the state that is having the major number of the elephants. Generally I guess it is a Karnataka. Please have a look, okay. How many elephant corridors we have, okay, elephant reserves we have, okay. Recently in Nagaland, one more sanctuary has been declared as a elephant reserve, okay. Just you need to know, okay, just roughly have an idea how many research reserves you have, okay. And then National Tiger Conservation Authority, okay, we have already gone through, okay. The Project Tiger, this is to increase the number of population of the tiger population is consistently increasing in India, okay. And there is a global level initiative called Saint Petersburg Declaration, which talks about the doubling of the tigers, and Nepal is the one such tiger which has doubled its tiger population. And you should also know which is the state recently under the National Tiger Census, which conducts for every 4 year, okay, which is the state that is having the major tigers, more number of tigers, okay. That is the Madhya Pradesh region, okay. And the tiger reserve is the Pench, okay. Yeah, you should be having idea, okay. Earlier it was a Karnataka, now it is a Madhya Pradesh. And Orang Tiger Reserve is the tiger reserve which is having the highest density of the tigers, okay. And then you need to know also one more Panna Tiger Reserve, which is in Madhya Pradesh. This is a tiger reserve which is having a very successful initiative of relocation of the tigers. Generally it was having very low tiger population. It has took tigers from other state, and finally it has successful. This Panna Tiger Reserve is considered as a very successful example of relocation of the tigers, okay. That you need to bring these aspects in your main answers, or else it will not be useful in doing this kind of prelims factual stuff, okay. Then only it will be helpful for your both mains aspects also, okay. And similar to Saint Petersburg Declaration, you have also Bishek Declaration, which is for the your snow leopard. We also have a Project Secure Himalayas, which also talks about your protection of the your project your snow leopard, okay. Generally snow leopards are present in the high altitude regions, okay, at the altitude of 3000 and all, okay. Generally these animals have very thick fur, okay. Whenever the animals lives in the cool regions, they have very thick fur, very large size body, but a small surface area, so that to not to allow the heat to pass through, okay. Generally the animals which is having in the desert areas, they have generally large legs and large ears to radiate more heat, while the animals in the cold areas, they have the small ears and small legs, okay. That is the adaptability mechanism they have, okay. And recent tiger census is also very important, because they have utilized the technology, and they have also first time collaborated with the countries like Nepal, okay. And also you need to know what are the tiger range nations, okay. That is also very important thing you need to see, okay. And then you have the Animal Welfare Board, okay. This is a statutory body under the prevention of cruelty to animal life, okay. That is also very important thing, since because of corona issue and bats and all, this is also very important issue. It is always in the news, okay. Environmental impact assessment, does not have any kind of statutory backing. It is as per the your Environment Protection Act. Through a notification it has been released, okay. What are the various steps under this environmental impact assessment you need to go through? And then you have the air pollution, okay. It is always in the news, right, because of the huge amount of the air pollution we have, okay. Currently India is considered as the highest releaser of the your sulfur dioxide, okay. And the same way we are also one of the highest releaser of the nitrogen, okay. That is the reason we have a Colombo Declaration, okay. Colombo Declaration comes under the UNEP. The same UNEP is also responsible for your Basel Convention, Rotterdam Convention, okay, Stockholm Convention, Colombo Declaration, and also green economy. This the concept of green economy released by this UNEP. Okay, green. What is this green economy? While considering GDP, generally we go through the consumption based economy. Okay, you don't consider whatever the impacts that has been caused to the environment. This green economy will also consider those things. Okay, now coming back to our air pollution, this there is a national level air quality monitoring program. Okay, yeah, that is going through all over the nationwide, and CPCB, Central Pollution Control Board, has developed a national ambient air quality standards, and there is also an app released by this Central Pollution Control Board, that is called the Samir app. Okay, and then there is one more app that is called the Suffer app. This Suffer app, it is by the Ministry of the Earth Sciences through Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology. And they have released this Suffer app. This also not only give the whatever the present condition, but also forecast, give the forecast. Okay, you know, you need to know what all the things that are being coming under this air quality monitoring and all, Suffer and all. You need to have an idea. Now coming to the CPCB, CPCB is also a statutory body under your Water Act, and Air Act use more functions. It is not under the Environmental Protection Act. Okay. That is a thing you need to know. And then you also need to know this graded action plan. Okay, you have because since whenever there is a very high pollution, okay, there is a let's say because of the Supreme Court, a new body has been formed. Okay, in order to ensure this graded action plan, graded that body is called EPA. Okay, you just go through this graded response action plan based on the amount of the pollution that is there. Slowly these measures are taken up by this body to ensure that again quality has been brought. Okay, in the same way there is a national clean air program. This national clean air program, it is generally taken in the 102 non-attainment cities. What is this non-attainment cities? Generally we have released the national air quality standards that are being monitored, right, for 5 years. If the city's condition of the particular matter is very poor, then it is considered as a non-attainment cities, and these cities comes under the national clean air program, which is having a 2017 as benchmark, and within 5 years, by 2024 they have to bring down this particular matter. Okay, so various ministries and every there is no legal backing, and every city has its own unique program. Okay, and then noise pollution, it also comes under the air pollution. Remember that if it is more than 75 dB, then it creates harm to your ears. Okay, and then here comes the hazardous waste. Okay, I have discussed in my previous video regarding the various waste management rules, right? Here there is a one more hazardous waste management rules. Recently these hazardous waste management rules have been amended to include even the like SEZ regions. Okay, even the plastic waste cannot be brought into this SEZ areas. But generally what happens is these developed countries, they dump the this hazardous waste in the developing nations. So in order to check that mechanism, check that issue, we have bringing this hazardous waste management rules, and also Basel Convention, Rotterdam Convention, which we look at in the next upcoming thing. Okay, that is the thing. Recently this thing have been amended, and certain exemptions have been given to those industries which have been already exempted under the Air Act and Water Act. And there are and one more provision is, let's say now you have been exporting one electronic equipment, and this electronic equipment has been faulty. Okay, now they can send back this electronic equipment. Okay, now here you don't have to worry about this hazardous waste management rules. Okay, and then here itself I have discussed in the previous session about this your e-waste management rules, solid waste management rules, and plastic waste management rules, right? What is major thing happening here in all these rules? Okay, generally your coverage has been increased. Okay, local bodies have been given more powers. Okay, whatever the things, let's say in the e-waste management rules, let's say like say CFL, okay, chlorofluorescent lamps and all, okay, mercury related things, everything has been brought under this. Even the not only manufacturers, producers, but also retailers, dealers have been brought under this. And CPCB has been given major responsibility, okay, to enforce this extended producer responsibility. What is this extended producer responsibility? I have already discussed. Please go watch that video. Okay. And then in the same way, I have also discussed this producer responsibility organizations. These producer responsibility organizations are the third party organizations which are generally involved in handling the waste. They are just like in your companies, whenever you give responsibility to the third parties, in the same way here, here is also you have the producer responsibility organization. They are generally registered with the your CPCB. Okay, I have already discussed the solid waste management rules, where they are talking about more powers to the local bodies, increasing coverage to the rural areas and all. Okay, imposing of the heavy fines, creation of the energy waste to energy plants. Okay, I have discussed the plastic waste management rules, where in the recent amendment they have talked about diluting of the provisions, where the plastic like say if they are, initially they have talked about the charging of your plastic bags. Okay, this provision has been removed, and also elimination of the multi-layered plastic has been made difficult. Any if anything anywhere you can use this multi-layered plastic, then they cannot be eliminated. Only if cannot be used anywhere, only then can be multi-layered plastic has to be eliminated. So these things, and even the construction and demolition waste I have discussed. Okay, fly ash utilization. Okay, this is like Maharashtra is the first state that has come up with the fly ash utilization. Okay, fly ash means generally whenever you burn fossil fuels like coal, okay, a ash kind of thing has been released. Okay, and this has very good utilization. This can utilize to increase the soil fertility. If you don't utilize the properly, they can create the soil and air pollution. Okay, so it has to be utilized properly, and Maharashtra is first state to come with the fly ash utilization policy. Okay, all these things also I have discussed. Okay, all these things comes under the UNEP. This is about the hazardous waste. Basel Convention does not cover the your radioactive waste. Rotterdam Convention talks about the prior informed convention, and then Stockholm Convention. USA has not ratified this. India has ratified this. Okay, so there is a thing you need to see, and Minamata is a very important thing, because recently India has ratified this. Okay, to face down the mercury. Now some religious institutions, because our in India culture, temples, all those yeah, your things like those things, whatever the lingas and all, they are manufactured using the your mercury. So religious institutions are opposing it for the completely elimination of this mercury, because this mercury is causing certain kind of diseases. Here itself you need to know like what are the different chemicals that cause various diseases, like cadmium. It is responsible for the disease called ita. Okay, nitrate is responsible for blue baby syndrome. Okay, just go through what are the other things that cause such kind of diseases. That you please go through that. Then here we have already gone through this National River Conservation Plan. Okay, we have discussed about this National Ganga River Basin Authority, National Clean Ganga Mission. I have already discussed. Okay, in the same way, wetlands I have already discussed. Okay, here there is a National Wetland Conservation Program. Okay, and then you go through all those recently given wetlands. Okay, just have an idea. When you go through that wetlands or whatever the protected areas and all, you will get an idea. Okay, what kind of habitat it is, what kind of animals, what kind of migratory species is there. Okay, this can be used as examples even in your mains. Okay, recently wetland conservation and management rules have been amended, and more powers have been given to the state government. That is the reason it has been criticized also. Okay, and then there is one more board called National Afforestation Eco Development Board. This is the body involved in the your National Afforestation Program. Okay, National Afforestation Program, like say here you need to be aware of this or Forest Rights Act. Okay, Forest Rights Act 2006, where it is giving more powers to the your local bodies. Okay, recently they have tried to amend this Forest Rights Act. Okay, in order to give more powers to the forest range officials, but it has not yet been not been passed. Okay, there is one more act called Forest Rights Act 1927. It classifies the forest under the different things. Okay, reserve forest and protected forest. Okay, reserve forest is having more protection. Protected forest, only certain activities are protected. Okay, so in this way reserve forest is has been given the more protection. Okay, that you need to have the idea. And there is one more Forest Act 1980. Under this only you are going for this your compensatory afforestation. We have also passed a compensatory fund afforestation fund act. So this fund comes under this it does not go, whatever the fund that has been collected, it does not go under this your consolidated fund. It is kept under the separate fund called the public account of India, so that it can be properly utilized. Okay, in the same way, green fund scheme has been also released. Okay, just go through that, what is that. Okay, these are certain things. And then eco developmental forces. Okay, this has been implemented with the support of the Ministry of Defense. Okay, nothing but in remote areas going for this afforestation. And then National Vision for Green India, it is also part of the National Action Plan on Climate Change. Okay, we have 8 components under the National Action Plan on Climate Change. National Mission for Green India is one such mission. Okay, and then comes under the declaring of eco-sensitive areas. What are those eco-sensitive areas? Certain protected areas need more protection. Okay, then here comes your eco-sensitive areas. Okay, they don't have any legal backing. Okay, but they use extra protection for 10 kilometers. Certain activities are prohibited, certain activities are regulated. This is in the news in the Western Ghats, because Madhav Gadgil committee has recommended entire Western Ghats should be considered as a eco-sensitive areas, and all the activities should be restricted. Okay, now but later on it was met with huge cry. Okay, so then came the your Kasturi Rangan committee, which said 37% at least Western Ghats should be protected, but even that was not implemented. Okay, and then important things you need to see here is Indian Council of Forest Research and Education. Just remember that, okay, it is in the Dehradun under the Ministry of Environment and Forest. And then Wildlife Institute of India, it is a autonomous body, as I have already discussed, under the Ministry of Environment. These things you can utilize in the mains. Okay, National Greening Corps, National Environmental Awareness Campaign, National this is a globe program. All these things are the for the environmental and education. Okay, this creates a proper awareness. Okay, use this thing in your mains. Okay, and then National Green Tribunal. Okay, there is a proper act. This tribunal has been established. Okay, it does not follow your regular CRPC and civil procedure codes. Okay, and there are 2 major acts that does not come under this National Green Tribunal, that is your Forest Rights Act and also your Wildlife Protection Act 1972. And who is the one heading this National Green Tribunal? That is either Supreme Court judge or your CJ of the High Court. Okay, and there will be 10 members. Okay, this having the rights of your civil court. Okay, powers of your civil court. Okay, and then for the climate change. Okay, here for National Action Plan for Climate Change is very important thing. Okay, see this climate action program, it is very important. It is a major flagship program of the Ministry of Environment. Okay, this climate action program, it is talking about the reducing the role of the black carbon in climate change. What is this black carbon? Black carbon is a short-term pollutant. It generally don't stay for a long time, but it reduces the albedo. Okay, since albedo, if the albedo is let's say this black carbon is falling on the your glaciers, it reduces the albedo and increase the melting of your glaciers. So it increases your global warming. So what is this black carbon? Black carbon is formed because of incomplete combustion of your fossil fuels. In the same way, you need to see about what is this brown carbon and blue carbon. Okay, those two are also very important. Here you know about the what is the convention that is there for the your short-term pollutants. Okay, that you need to see. Okay, various funds for the climate change we have already gone through. Okay, this National Adaptation Fund that comes under this your NABARD. What are the various other funds that comes under the NABARD? It is also very important. NABARD is always in the news. Just go through this developmental financial institution. Okay, when it was set up recently, the amendment was happened. Okay, majority its funding pattern has increased. Okay, and various rural infrastructure development funds, certain other funds has been also kept under this NABARD. Okay, so very important body. Just Google and read more about the NABARD. Okay, and then we have the ozone layer. Okay, for the ozone layer, you need to see this is a UVB radiation that is being protected by this ozone layer. So what are the things we have for the ozone layer protection? Initially there was a Vienna Convention. This is a not binding thing. Okay, later on through this convention we have got a Montreal Protocol. This Montreal Protocol is binding thing. Okay, this Montreal Protocol talks about the elimination of all the ozone depleting substances. Through this we have passed out phased out chlorofluorocarbons, and then we have moved to the HCFCs and HFCs. But recently, through the Kigali Agreement, we have talked about the HFC. HFC is not a ozone depleting substance, but it is a greenhouse gas. Since it is causing a greenhouse gas, the Kigali Agreement talks about elimination of this HFCs. If it is a greenhouse gas, it should come under the UNFCCC, right? Okay, under the Kyoto Protocol, under the Paris Convention. But if it comes under there, more funds has to be given. So somehow these developed nations convinced developing nations and brought this HFC under this Kigali Agreement, and then finally made nations to ratify. As per this Kigali Summit, there are three divisions has been done. Okay, the third nation has been given more leverage. Okay, let's say they can slowly eliminate this HFC. Okay, India comes under this third grouping. Okay, the three groupings has been done. Okay, just go through those three groupings, and then this is a very important convention. Again, I have already discussed in my previous session. Okay, legally binding. Okay, recently a summit has been happened in India. Okay, and then Ministry of Environment is the nodal ministry. Okay, what are the things that are there in the recent COP 14 or 13? Just go through COP 14, I guess. Okay, what are the things that are happened under this Forest Peace Initiative, Drought Toolbox, okay, New Delhi Declaration. Okay, all these things you need to have an idea about. Okay, and then he talks about UNEP. I have already discussed enough about this UNEP. Okay, and then GEF, it is also properly discussed. Okay, we have discussed in detail very much about the Ministry of Environment. Hope it is helping you. All these classes are being done only to benefit you. Okay, please let me know if these initiatives are helping you or not. Okay, or just to benefit you, I'm doing these sessions and all. Okay, I have no intentions to any other thing. I'm not even sharing with anyone, just I'm putting in this group only, nowhere else. Okay. So please make use of those things. I'm taking extra efforts to benefit, to help students. If you want any other things, please drop me a message. Okay, if you have any issues also, please let me know. Okay, you can ping me on my Telegram channel. Okay, thank you. Thank you all, everyone.